Hello everyone, I'm Jim Durrett, Mayor of Montgomery County, and just happy to bring another series to you about shining the light where it needs to be shown in Montgomery County. And today, I really get to interview or talk to somebody that I think is a first responder, truly, and Miss Hope Petersen, who's our Executive Director or Director of E911. Hope,
Yes.
How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm good. I really do. I mean, I view you and your entire team down there as a first responder because y'all truly are. I mean, y'all are the first.
First responder.
You are the first.
Yes.
So before we start talking about your job, and a lot of people are going to know the role in 911, let's find out a little bit about Hope. Just give me some history on Hope.
Okay. Hope I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan, relocated here in 1997. I had family here that was active duty military and stationed at Fort Campbell. So to be closer to some family members, I moved down here from Michigan, enrolled at Austin Peay State University. I'm a graduate from Austin Peay State University, and I absolutely fell in love with Clarksville, Montgomery County. So 25 years later, here I am. So.
That is so awesome. I did not know that. I did not know that. So you went to Austin Peay.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So what'd you do when you got out? What was your, did you graduate college?
I do. I have a degree in communications and a minor in chemistry.
In chemistry?
In chemistry.
You're kidding me.
And then I found the role of 911 and absolutely loved it.
So tell us about that. How did that happen?
So in 1998, so I just kind of happened on government or public safety. It was not my intention to go into a public safety field, but as I was a student at Austin Peay, I was looking for a job that would allow me to go to school full-time, maybe work an afternoon or over the night shift that allowed me to go to school during the day. And then I looked at and seen 911 and I thought, well, that would be an interesting job to do. So I applied, I got it, and then I've not left the 911 field.
So while you were going to Austin Peay, you worked for the local 911 district as a call taker?
I did. I started off as a 911 call taker.
Wow.
So I've been in it 24 years now.
And you worked outside of Clarksville, Montgomery County as well, right?
I did for a short term. For 6 years, I worked for Robertson County 911 as their director. And then an opportunity arose where the position opened and I felt like I was coming home. Yes.
Awesome. And I know, Hope, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, and I don't want to put you on the spot with this one, but we are not a consolidated district.
Correct.
And what that means is that if somebody calls 911, and they probably have a title other than call taker, but there's a call taker, and then it goes to dispatch. And so when it goes to dispatch, inside of 911, the Sheriff's Department, EMS, EMA, County Fire, Animal Care Control, all the county agencies basically are dispatched through 911.
Correct.
When the call taker at 911 takes a call inside the city limits, Clarksville Fire, Clarksville Police, it goes to a Clarksville dispatcher.
Correct.
Y'all are all in the same building. They don't work for you.
Correct.
But they're in the same building, and really, and I think Mayor Pitts would admit it as well, we need to be a consolidated district.
And that's correct.
And I'm not trying to get you in a political spot either.
Absolutely, but it is, as the director for 911, and I've worked where it is consolidated and then non-consolidated, what we call co-located. We're co-located they're co-located in our 911 building. And so to be effective and under one authority for that, it would be a consolidation. For have all employees, all policies, all procedures, everything under one entity. So
I don't want to discredit somebody. So if I pick up the call, pick up the call. If I pick up the phone and dial 911, hopefully I don't have to. Somebody answers. What is that person's position?
that person's position is a 911 telecommunicator or operator. It is
Gotcha.
their official title. So our employees are cross-trained, so all employees at 911 can either be a call taker or what we call a dispatcher, and that is once you receive the emergency or non-emergency call, it goes into our software, and then you dispatch the appropriate responding agency. So they can also dispatch, say, for the Sheriff's Department
Right.
or EMS.
So, Hope, how, you may not know this, but this is just me wanting to know. The average person calls 911, how long are they typically on the phone with y'all?
Typically on the phone, our duration is approximately 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick,
It's
pretty
very
short and sweet.
Very short,
Yeah.
sweet, unless we do need to stay on the phone, unless we're given emergency medical direction and instructions to
Right.
that caller.
Right.
Then of course, in certain circumstances, for safety of our responders, we'll keep that caller on the line a longer time, whatever's needed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's your typical day look like?
So there is no typical day in 911. It can range from just average calls, not a lot of calls going on, to where we can take an excess of 1,500 calls a day.
Wow.
For emergency services, but we always have calls, if it be self-initiated, but our day never is the same.
Yeah.
It can range from all different type of call types, what the volume of calls are, and what's going on within the community.
So your role as a director, what are you doing during the day?
So again, my day is not typical.
Yeah.
So my day can range from an average, just an administrative role for timesheets, payroll, administratively. It could be to where I am working with all the other responding agencies, coordinating training.
Mhm.
And then it could also range from, as we know, the Nashville downtown Christmas Day bombing. So it can range from to where we are looking at to evacuate our building to ensure that all services are up and running for our citizens. So my day is, again, non-typical also.
Yeah. Wow. So if, do weather events typically, like if we get a severe thunderstorm warning and, knock on wood, we don't get a lot of damage, is there a lot of people that still call 911 that are just scared and?
Yes. So when we see a weather incident, it can range from a snowstorm to severe weather outbreaks such as thunderstorms. We get where people will call in. Again, it depends on how severe it is, if we have any type of property damages. So it can range from where we lose electricity and alarm activations are going off. So we normally see an influx of calls that come into our center.
So, and I'm sure some people call y'all and just say, hey, my power's out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have to steer those citizens to the correct place.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the true first responders.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah. What are some short-term challenges that you see with our district?
I think short-term challenges, just in general, I think, and this is going to be not just for our district, but across the board at this time, is staffing.
Yeah.
As staffing this is a very fast-paced, high-stress environment to work in,
Mm-hmm.
shift work, and so we just see a lot of times that nationally our turnover rate is higher than other departments within the county government.
Yeah.
Because of that. So short term would be now is staffing, is to get the interest back into this portion of the public safety.
Yeah. Well, long term, same thing, you think?
Long term also, I think we're seeing that kind of trajectory kind of go for staffing shortages, but also funding. So funding for us, again, this is at the local level, state level, national level, is funding to ensure that our 911 system per se, how we take calls, is robust and upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
And that means so that way the expectation of the citizens is that you're gonna call, the call will go through, someone's on the line, and then that you'll get the needed help.
Mm-hmm.
So really we look at funding to ensure as we move forward in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that we have that funding available, even from the federal level.
Yeah, and I know that, I don't know how many years ago, but they went through purchasing a new CAD,
Mhm.
and I'm talking about something I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know I was involved in the conversation. But they were talking, and I may not say this right, but the CAD was like a tier 1. So it was like for a community designed, robust for a community of 250,000 plus or something like that. And when you talk about being robust, as big as we are, the system, and I can't wrap my head around what all the system does, but it does so much. But it needs to be on the cutting edge from a technology standpoint.
Correct, it does.
Yeah.
And technology plays a role, a driving force and role in 911.
Yeah.
It does. So you have to make sure that all the solutions that we use, from call handling, as the calls come in, that system that we use to ensure that we have your correct location, what your phone number is, to ensure that we get the calls from our CAD system, our computer aided dispatch system. It has to be robust to the lines that the calls come in on.
And then there's so much just cross communication of what your system is with CPD, with Sheriff's Office, with Austin PGIS, with the Planning Commission.
Correct.
I mean, y'all are just.
We work, yes.
But y'all have to have it all.
We do. We touch all agencies.
Yeah.
So we are what I consider like that center hub of a wheel. So
Yeah.
we sit right in the middle of that hub, and then we touch all
Yeah.
other agencies and departments within our county.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. The funding, you talked about funding, and I should have said this in the beginning. You're not a department of Montgomery County.
That's correct.
The district is operated by a board. You're hired by the board. Montgomery County does provide some support to 911 through our HR, through our accounts and budgets office, those type things. But you're funded like Montgomery County. We pay the district X amount of dollars a year to provide dispatch service to our first responders inside Montgomery County, which are Sheriff's Office, EMS, County Fire, Animal Control, and I'm probably missing somebody. EMA, yeah. But where do your other funds come from?
Our other funds come, we get our funds that go directly to the state of Tennessee, which is the Tennessee Emergency Communication Board. And those funds come from the citizens of Montgomery County. And that's on your wireless phones, your cellular charges, or your landline phones. Those fees that we get then funds at the local level.
Yeah. So your cell phone bill,
yes,
you're paying, helping to pay
that fee
for the district. Did that fee change here?
It did recently.
Yeah.
We did. Again, as I talked about funding and moving forward to ensure that we have a robust system moving forward for the next 20 years. So they've seen the needs as cost rises, the needs to upgrade systems throughout the state of Tennessee. It did increase from $1.16 to $1.50.
Yeah.
Is what we all pay, to include myself.
Yeah. When you moved here, what'd you fall in love with about Montgomery County?
I think Montgomery County was just a good place to put roots down for me. It was a nice town that really, it wasn't, because I came from a more metropolitan area where I'm living right outside in the suburb of Detroit. So coming here, I just felt we still had the amenities to do things. We had a university, great public schools, and I really then just fell in love with it because it was a good place to put roots down for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you tell somebody that was going to move here?
I would,
or why they should move here.
I would tell them just that. This is a community, I think, with Fort Campbell and just how we partner with Fort Campbell, then with the university and the citizens that we have, and with the county government, city government, I think with the local governments is that we move and are striving to do well for the citizens here of Montgomery County.
Yeah.
And it's great. You see it in the number of parks that we have now, in the outdoor recreation, and the blueways, the greenways, our public schools, things that we then reinvest in for the community. So it's a great community feel for that.
You mentioned Fort Campbell. In your role, do y'all communicate with Fort Campbell a lot?
Not a lot, but we do if there's a need be that we
Yeah.
do. We have some communication that we have that set up between our
Yeah.
two agencies.
But like in the bombing in Nashville, y'all are, I guess, somewhat involved. I don't know.
So what do you mean by?
Well,
like
I don't
with
know.
Fort Campbell,
I just know that
how we work.
well, like when we had the Kirby Smart or what was his name? Kirby
Wallace.
Wallace.
No,
Yeah, I call him Kirby Smart. That was a basketball player. Yeah, the criminal guy, Kirby Wallace. I bet y'all were just like swamped, weren't you?
We were, and
Because you had these, are these other agencies like coming through y'all too?
Yes, so we work with all the agencies, then all the agencies from other communities and other counties. Then we in turn have communications with the field units that are out there. If we have that interoperability, then we're also communicating, even like hourly with the other 911 centers that then have responding
Wow.
units. So yes, so we work very closely with other agencies.
Yeah. So if there something happens out on the interstate and you need a THP guy, do y'all dispatch them?
We don't dispatch them, but we do the notification to dispatch, THP's dispatch. So
Okay.
again, this is another agency that we work with very closely and that we touch.
Yeah. And so if that trooper that was dispatched, could he connect to y'all if he had to?
Yes.
Y'all are just
We have
this
interoperability.
big interconnected web that has the capabilities of doing so many different things if you need it. What's the worst thing? Is power going off the worst thing that could happen to your facility?
No, we if the power goes off, we have generators, we have plans in place and failovers in place that we don't lose that.
Day to day, we talked about long term, we talked about short term challenges. Talk about things that are gratifying.
So in 911 and public safety, so to me gratifying is we provide a service, and it's very simple. We provide a service for the community, and it's a needed service, and so it allows us to do the job, and we provide the service, and so to me that's always been gratifying. Is some people are geared to go into the burning building, such as your firefighters,
Right.
and then some people, you like to be in that background, but you're still a first responder in a different way, but you make a difference in someone's life every day in what you do. And so it's very gratifying.
Wow.
Always has been.
If somebody was looking to go into that field, what would you tell them?
That it's a challenging job, but it's meaningful. That's simple. It's challenging because it is high stress, high paced, shift work, but it is a meaningful job in what you provide to someone.
That's awesome. And so for you, just in school, looking for something to do, and boom, here's this job at 911. And that was 26 years ago?
24.
24, I'm sorry.
No,
24 years ago, and just
And
love it every single day.
And still love it, yes.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Hope it's sure been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.